Fed heads, welcome back to IPCPR 2018 with Cigar Federation. I'm Tripp here with Skip Martin of RoMa Craft, the Ma. How you doing, Skip?
I'm good. I'm just hoping I'm half as interesting as Matt Booth.
Well, we haven't done him yet, so far you're more interesting.
Okay, awesome. Nice.
You got that on it.
I'm winning already.
So we're here in the RoMa Craft booth. I want to talk about this picture wall.
Okay.
So you've collected pictures from your fans and
yeah, I mean,
paying homage to them?
We get tagged in pictures all the time. We generally pick one of those every day as the RoMa Craft pick of the day. But these are just pictures over the last 7 years. I mean, what it's really doing is telling a story about our company. So when we're here with customers who aren't familiar with us, we can say, look, you know, our company's really about four things. One is the product. You take good tobacco. You hire good people, and then you make all the decisions and take the time to make sure it's right. It's not a secret formula. So that's that. So it's, the fact that we own our own factory is a key part of it. That I live down there, and Esteban and I work on that every day. The second part is the customers themselves. We're pretty exclusive about who we select. We make sure that the customers we have, the retail customers we have, are engaged with their customers, and not just like sitting behind the register. And we try to pick the right kinds of retailers. And so when we talk about this part of the story, we talk about making sure that we got guys like Sean Coleman in Maryland, or even our retailers in Europe. We try to pick people that are like Salih DeLay. We try to pick people that are really passionate and engaged. Yeah. Not the burnout old guys, right? Yeah. Nothing wrong with being old. I'm old myself, but and then obviously a key part is us as a team, our employees, which is really kind of why we do what we do. And then this is kind of the weasel section, kind of all of our friends and I don't like the word fans, yeah, but our customers. That actually support us, so we make a living all together with this kind of little ecosystem, and we pay equal and important attention to all those parts. Yeah. And these pictures are really just different moments of the last 6-7 years I could take any one of these pictures and tell you an hour-long story about the person or about what was going on or whatever, and so that's why this is here.
Awesome. And now I want to talk about, before we talk about the Mambaco, I want to talk about a little incident that y'all had last night. Word on the street, so we actually left the party like maybe 10 minutes before, went across the hall and came out, and there were security guards there.
We were having a nice, calm, playing classical music, having, political discussions, sipping on our tea, and Erica Espinosa was fucking burning the house down. So we basically just got caught up in all of Erica Espinosa's stuff. That's all I can tell you. I don't know much more than that. I can tell you that we eventually did not need a bail bondsman, so that was a good thing.
I heard a little rumor about the NWA.
Yeah, that didn't help the situation. Yeah. All right. So our DJ, the rock star DJ D Money, he decided to instigate the situation a little more, so whatever, fuck it.
That's great. I mean,
we're doing the same shit tonight. So.
Exactly. Well, and then the night before, I heard a little story about y'all got rained out.
It started off with rain, so we just we were kind of trying to get people moved inside. Of course, they were already smoking cigars. The manager came and told us we couldn't smoke. The security came and told us we couldn't smoke, and basically I said, what happens if we smoke? They said there's a fine. I said, okay, well, I guess we'll just pay it. Charge it to the game. Right?
Gangster.
What are you going to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. Can't shut the party down.
I'm trying to get 200 people to stop smoking cigars. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Just smoke.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll pay.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
All right, so now let's talk about the Weaselitos.
Okay.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about them.
So the Weaselitos are a project. I, for a long time, have cut cigars in half. Apparently,
very divisive.
Apparently causing, huge, rifts among people online and in that discussion. So
almost as if you cut the community in half.
Yeah, exactly. Figuratively and literally. So I asked Esteban. I said, do you ever cut cigars in half? If you don't really want to smoke the whole thing, he said, absolutely. I said, you're violating the blender's intent with this bullshit, which is what I've heard. There's a couple things going on that this just became a magical solution for. Mm-hmm. One is Esteban had a dental work and needed to have a smaller cigar that had a looser draw.
Yeah.
Because he had the dental work. One of them was when we make big cuts on these big beautiful leaves that we have, we end up with a lot of these really really clean second pieces.
Yeah.
And they end up just in scrap that we sell for 40 cents a pound because we don't make those kinds of cigars. Mm. So the other one was we ended up over making when we were making the H-Town OMs. We ended up over making the bunches. So we do them tabacchiato, and they end up drying, and then you tighten them up, and then you dry them, and then you tighten them up in the newspaper. So when we were doing that, you make the bunches about a week or two before you put the wrapper on them because they have to dry and. Because they start out about a 46, 48, and then you shrink them down. So at that time we were switching over our San Andreas production, and we actually didn't have enough wrapper to finish the bunches we had.
Oh.
So we had about, I don't know, maybe 200 or 300 of these Lanceros bunched. So I said, well, what if we just took these little scraps, put them on this, cut this cigar in half, put these little scraps on them, and just made these little weaselitos. It turns out that the top tastes different than the bottom, which, who knew? So what we do is we make the 100 count box in broadleaf, Ecuador Habano, and San Andres, which is Neanderthal, Cro-Magnon, and Aquitaine.
Yeah.
So it's the Atlatls and the OM. We bunch them as a Lancero, tabacchiato. We cut them in half, and then we put the cleanest second cuts. So we have the bunches sitting in our secadero, ready.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the rollers will take, if they make 400, 300 cigars today, they'll take, the 50 or 60 really clean. When a roller looks at a leaf, they're trying to find the cleanest piece for the cigar they're making. But sometimes it's all clean.
Yeah.
And so when they have that, they specifically say that off to the side. And at the end of the day, when they're done with everything else, they go and get 20, 30, 40 of these bunches and make another 40 of these, which is a little bit of extra pay for them.
Yeah.
But it also is using this great piece of tobacco that we would otherwise be wasting, and it makes a great little cigar. So sometimes, like for example, if a roller is sick or absent, their buncher doesn't have work to do. Yeah. So what we do is we have them make weaselito bunches. Okay. And then if the buncher, for example, is sick, we just have the roller that day putting wrappers. So it solves a whole lot of problems in the factory.
Yeah, that sounds like it actually kind of like solves some efficiency problems.
Right. And it also, at the end of the day, makes a great little cigar. Yeah. So the irony is that a lot of times little cigars are machine made, the cheapest, whatever. These are actually probably some of the hardest ones for us to make because they're tabacchiato. It takes 3 days to bunch them. But because of the way we've integrated it into solving all these other little problems, it makes sense for us. Yeah. So. And more importantly, it's just a great little quick hitter cigar. I'm kind of addicted to them now. So not addicted, FDA. I'm not officially really. That was a turn of phrase. I'm not really addicted.
Yes, mentally.
Right. Yeah.
Not physically.
Not physically.
And so, what about the filler? Is the filler the same for all three blends, or is it different fillers?
The San Andreas is the Neanderthal.
Okay.
The Cro-Magnon Aquitaine is the Cro-Magnon filler. So it's exactly the same as an Atlatl or an OM. It's just cut in half.
Yeah, so they really are cutting them in half. So when you buy a box of 100, you're going to get 50 that taste a little different?
Yeah, the tops will be different than the bottoms.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
And when are people going to be able to actually get their hands on
So we didn't know coming into the show, but we did have a conversation with the Schusters while we were here, and we are going to bring them to Enter Tobacco for Europe. There's a whole process of registering products under TPD and TPD2 that is a pain in the ass that I just choose not to do. So I told the Schusters, I said, you could have them, but you have to register them. So we are selling in 7 countries now. Philip has been making this size cigar for 100 years, right?
Yeah.
His family. So he thinks the really strong small cigars are going to sell really well. So plus they're €350 or something like that. So it's a great deal.
Oh yeah, that's a great deal. Sorry, I blew smoke in your face.
That's all right.
And on to the real question, food. What's the best food you had this week?
We went to Bazaar Meat.
Again?
Isn't this like a recurring?
Yeah.
We went to Bazaar Meat. We took our team to Bazaar Meat, and which is never cheap, you know.
Oh, no.
And then the guy says, "Hey, the chef appreciates your business. You know, we know you guys come here every year. We appreciate you guys making a reservation. He has a little something special set aside for you, if you're okay with it." And I said, "Sure."
No, I don't want that.
Little did I know.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, I should have asked how much it was, but I felt I had outgrown that question. Clearly, I have not. So we were, you know, they brought this meat out that he had specially imported or some story, right? And all I know, it was really good, and it was like $60 a bite or something.
Oh, man.
So I almost had to kind of run on the check. Fortunately,
you sold a lot of cigars this week.
Fortunately, American Express came through it for us, yeah. But it was great. It was a great time. It was excellent. It would just melt in your mouth. It was crazy good. Bazaar Meat's the shit. It really is.
I've been dying to go there. We haven't had the chance yet.
Yeah, it's insane. If you're a meat eater, it's almost maybe the best overall
I'll eat a weasel.
meat experience I've ever had in my life. Yeah, it's great.
All right, thanks for the time, Skip.
Yeah, brother.
Appreciate it.
So you got to come back and let me know if Matt Boot's more interesting.
I will.
I'm sure he won't be as informative. He'll probably be far more entertaining.
I mean, you're probably right on both counts.
Yeah. All right.